Nothing wrong if Supreme Court interprets the Constitution to allow Mahama to run for a third term, Blay. Former national chairman of the New Patriotic Party, NPP, Freddie Blay, has weighed in on the ongoing national debate over former President John Dramani Mahama's eligibility to contest the 2028 general elections, stating that while the courts may interpret the law, the ultimate decision lies with the Ghanaian electorate. Speaking in an interview on Oyerepa FM Wednesday, June 11, 2025, Blay acknowledged the authority of the Supreme Court in constitutional interpretation, especially regarding the controversial two-term limit for presidents. However, he maintained that if the apex court interprets the Constitution to permit Mahama to run again, he personally has no objection. The law is in the bosom of the judges, Blay remarked, adding, if it goes to the Supreme Court, which has the exclusive judicial right to interpret the Constitution, and that body decides that what it means by two terms is conservatively this or that, I don't have a problem with it. He emphasized the difference between legal interpretation and democratic choice. The law court does not vote for a president, he stated. The individuals who constitute a panel and may look at a case have only one vote each. It is the people of this country who will vote. Blay further said that if Mahama's party, the National Democratic Congress, NDC, chooses to field him as their candidate, it would be within their right, and it is up to the electorate to make the final decision. His comments come amid ongoing legal and political discussions about Mahama's eligibility after having served one full term from 2013 to 2017 and completing the remainder of the late President John Adam Mills' term from 2012. NPP national organizer, Henry Nanaboachi, recently claimed that President John Dramani Mahama is planning to run for a third term in office, citing his appointment of new Supreme Court justices and an alleged ploy to dismiss Chief Justice Gertrude Saki Torkornoo as evidence. He knows it will be difficult to get a referendum. So, what I can do is pack the court with judges who will favor me, then sponsor a judicial interpretation of Article 62. Which states that everybody has two terms. Therefore, he seeks an interpretation to mean that the two terms can be continuous and consecutive. He wants to rely on such an interpretation to go for a third term, he said in an interview on Peace FM.
Accumulate the debts and go home. But as responsible father as he is, together with the finance minister and the governor of Bank of Ghana, do you know what they decided to do first? There are two critical components of fuel pricing in Ghana. The forest side and what we usually call the FOB side. Now, when we look at it, the impacts, we realize that the forest part is huge. So what the minister decided to do first, that's Minister Toforson, decided to do first is to work on the forest side first by ensuring the stability or appreciation of the Ghana cedi. What did we do with the gold board and all those other interventions? Today we have seen the Ghana cedi move from 15 cedis to almost 10.2. This morning I checked from the Bank of Ghana interbank rates, and it is doing 10.3, 10.2 from 15 cedis. So what has happened now is a significant gain, almost 40% reduction in terms of the forest rates. Now, what's the impact on fuel price? The cascading impact. Now, you notice that as at January 2025, when you go to the pump, a liter of, say, diesel was doing close to 16 cedis. 16 cedis. Now, because of the forex rate, that had come down to almost 10.77 from 16. Even less for the sake of argument, even say 15. So from 15, we have come down to 10.7 and in some places 11 cedis per liter.
Right.
So for you and I, the consumer of petroleum product, we have made almost 4 cedi gain on every liter. So what the finance minister decided to do was to work on the forex side. Having brought that stability and conscious of the fact that we will sustain it for a long time, came the conversation about the 1 cedi. Now, because the consumer is making 4 cedi gain, what government had decided, and with a lot of apology, is to say that you are making 4 cedis gain. Give us 1 out of the 4. Government is not asking for 2. Government is not asking for 3. Out of the 4 cedi gain, government is saying that please, 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 I am caught up in a situation, but I need to cut the lights off. You remember, our friends in the MPP used to tease HE that we are going to have 24-hour doomsaw. You remember?
That one I didn't hear.
Oh, no. In fact, it was the MPP immediately after President Mahama took on. Then they started calling it 24-hour doomsaw. President Mahama doesn't want to leave a legacy of doomsaw. Never. So what he has done is simple. That Ghanaians, out of the 4 cedi gain, by raising of the appreciation of the cedi, which is a government intervention. Remember that the CDJ didn't appreciate it. There had been very methodical intervention from government.
The hottest and the biggest conversation in Ghana inside politics in a different city hall 37 Abebisi Street, the heart of Accra, Usu, editor in all the 16 regions across the country, north, south, east, and west. And now, 9 June 2025. And now, Mame, Her Excellency Zita, lawyer Zita Benson, and now, birthday. Obeba Studio Hall live on Nimenia Alesta Nelson. Now, and they list to be joining. Now, Uma, I was say, your ma buying who say has a tokru ewa. We see Tiasa to Cluny said, yes, he was about by one, a bit to me about a buy ho. We do Tamale, Northern Regional Capital, Kesi 107.1 FM, Boli in the Savannah region. We are like on Inkelege FM, WFM, Ewa, Sanso, and Ayanama. It was Zibila FI Life, I was Zeps FM, Bokuya Source, 100.1 FM. You do call a year Pussiga, a wing pan sampa when the FM, Bono region, Tiny Tipona FM, Ewan Soko, and Suma FM on Cranquanta. Our regional capital, you go, so Nananum 92.5 FM station with ambition, a Duno FM, so Ewa, a year sound correct. Mediocre Central Regional Capital, Cape Coast, Kotokraba Market, Adam Sounds, Akroma, Ewa, Sanso, and Sinfo